Hi everybody, my name is Butternuts and welcome back to Everlasting Summer, where we found Shirik. There we go. Sorry, I couldn't remember what happened for a second. It's been like a week since I've gone back to this game, but we found Shirik after he went missing, he went crazy, and we're gonna figure out what happened in the aftermath of all that. See if he remembers anything, or at least I hope. Alright, let's do this. We ran with the last of our strength. Like those who run for their precious lives, like a doomed person knowing that there is no hope to save his life, we still fight the inevitable and his own fate. I barely managed to close the heavy metal door behind me. I have no idea how deep this bomb shelter is, or if it's able to withstand a nuclear blast, but we have no other place to hide. She gripped my hand tight. Don't be afraid. Bits of the ceiling were falling and the walls were shaking. I was prepared for the worst, but death is the kind of thing that you can't ever be prepared for. But suddenly, complete silence fell. It rang even louder than the explosions. Maybe it's time to say goodbye. She was whimpering. I wanted to comfort her somehow, but realized that there is nothing I can do. Yes. You know, A horrible bang almost split my eardrums. It seems that I'm under a piece of collapsed ceiling, but I don't feel any pain. All I want is to not let her go. I woke up in a cold sweat, short of breath and gasping for air. It took me some time to come to my senses. It was a dream. It was just a dream. My questioning mind, however, refused to believe it. But who was that girl with me there? I didn't want to let go of her hand so desperately. Sadly, I couldn't recall her at all. The clocks were showing a few minutes past 10. I slowly came to my senses and reality started to stake out its calm in my mind, and my stomach fully growled. Alright, war is war, but lunch should be served in due time. It turned out that Olga wasn't here. She must have decided not to wake me up. Well, thanks. Go out to our camp leader for this. After yesterday's adventures, I had to have a rest. Last night remained a blurry memory which I really didn't want to think about. It's now more important to find something to eat and to wash myself. Exactly. Because a pioneer must always be clean and tidy. Though, I would agree with this principle even if I wasn't a pioneer. As a matter of fact, I'm not. On my way to the wash stands, I met Electronic. He started to wave his hands and ran up to me. Good morning. Thank you for finding Shirik. Without him, I don't even... It's nothing. I was a bit embarrassed. No, really, don't be shy. The country must be proud of its heroes. And what about Shirik? How did he look this morning? Is he alright? After yesterday's craziness, I thought such a question was completely valid. Yes, absolutely. The only thing is he can't remember anything. Can't he? I wasn't surprised at all. He says that he went to the abandoned camp yesterday and then woke up in his bed this morning. I mean, he remembers nothing between those two events. I see. Alright then. You missed breakfast, right? Come to our club, we'll feed you. I have something special. Electronic smiled in a conspiratorial way. Thanks, I'll come probably. I have to wash myself first anyway. We'll be waiting. He waved at me and left to carry out his own business. There was nobody near the washstands. The water turned out surprisingly warm today. It's been warmed up already, I guess. Having my face washed, I realized that it would be easy to wash the rest of my body here. Maybe I should go to the showers, but since there is nobody here, I turned the tap in such a way so the water steamed parallel to the ground and started to take off my clothes. And what if somebody sees me? Well, I'll rinse and dry myself quickly and put on my clothes. The water, which seemed warm on my hands and face, felt bone-chillingly cold in my body. The whole washing process took no longer than 10 seconds, and I started to wipe myself quickly afterwards. But I didn't manage to finish anyway. There were voices coming in from the direction of the footpath. The only solution came to me in a split second. I grabbed my clothes and dashed into the bushes. You know, why am I not fucking surprised? Honestly. A moment later, Alisa and Oyana appeared near the washstands. You could have done it by yourself. Why did you bring me here? Is it a big deal for you? Fine, let me. I peered at them and noticed that they were both covered in red paint. What a surprise. I wonder how they managed that. Of course. Alisa opened the valve and started to rub Yana's back. It has to be these two. Why the fuck does it have to be these two? What? Is there anyone to see? She grinned. Okay, just be quick. Ah, fuck me! God damn it! I'm done. Thanks. You're welcome. Fuck. Listen, let me try on. Shit. Come on! Alright, fine. Well, I'd like to try anyway. But out here? There's nobody here, right? Olyana looked my way and smiled archly. I was absolutely sure she couldn't see me in these bushes, but enough with this nonsense. Olyana wasn't listening to her anymore and grabbed Alisa's bra with a dexterous move instead. Oh, now I have to confess, I had something to look at. Oh, why? I'm very uncomfortable right now. Alisa and Olyana stood frozen, staring at me. I tried to cover my nudity with my guilty face. I thought I put my clothes back on. Fuck. Every episode. I swear to God, something happens in like the first 5 minutes. The tableau lasted for a few seconds, then Alisa took her shirt and somehow put it on in an instant. You! Her face gone from red to purple. It looked like she would explode in a nuclear blast any second. The only thing I wanted was to disintegrate into atoms and get as far from the epicenter as possible. She was sitting there the whole time. So she noticed me then. Phew. And I accidentally, you know what I mean. Alisa rushed at me. I thought I had my clothes on. Covering my butt with one hand and holding my clothes with the other, I ran into the woods. It seemed the best solution to me at the time, as showing up naked in the middle of the camp accompanied by 2 screaming girls wasn't a good idea. I ran without looking back. I stopped a few minutes later to catch my breath. It seemed that there was no pursuit, so I managed to save myself. But at the cost of lacerated, scratched, and bleeding feet, as I had no time to put on my boots. I sat on a tree stump inside. Sometime later, having dressed already, I left the forest. I need to decide what to do next. My feet are hurting, so I should go straight to the infirmary, but on the other hand, my stomach isn't going to wait either. Maybe I should accept Electronic's invitation, or head to the canteen in the hope of finding someone left to eat there. It's probably best to get the feet thing taken care of first. I was always took good care of my health, and even better care at the times when something starts to hurt badly. So without hesitation, I made my way to the infirmary. But right in front of the door, I stopped as if some mysterious force was holding me. I had absolutely no desire to face the camp nurse, without any urgent need. But on the other hand, I almost did a great deed yesterday defending the infirmary. So in some sense she owed me. I took heart and opened the door. Hi, Pioneer. Hello. I'm sorry that I was so late yesterday. It wasn't a problem at all. Well, why have you come? Are you sick? She smiled slyly. Well, I got my feet a bit. You got a bit what? My feet. I gave a stupid answer. Okay, show me. I sat on the couch and took off my boots. How did you manage that? I better keep silent about what happened near the washstand. Okay, never mind. Wait a second. She rummaged through the drawer and took out a big red pill with cross-shaped notch from a vial. And what is that for? I was disturbed by the size of the pill and its strange shape. They are broken in halves usually and not in quarters. This is to make the amputation of your leg unnecessary. Oh, okay. What? Don't sneak up on me like that. Nothing, don't be afraid, Pioneer. And this pill, why does it look like that? That's for patients who refuse to take medicine orally. We screw it into them with a screwdriver then. Oh God, I didn't dare to ask where they were being screwed in, actually. And now try to bear it a bit. She took a big pack of cotton wool, wrapped a bud with it, and applied plenty of iodine to it. I braced myself for the torment of hell. I moaned quietly, but my trust in the method of disinfection was much higher than an odd pill, so I had to withstand the burning. Now it's done. I put on my boots and tried to walk. My feet were still hurting, but the sharp pain was gone. Thank you. Don't mention it. Drop in any time, Pioneer. I said goodbye and left the infirmary. My health problem was solved. It's the right time to eat now. The day has just started and I've gone through many things already. But I did it and have legitimate grounds to fill myself up. Today I wasn't the last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included pea soup and mashed potatoes with fish. It was a major disappointment to me as I don't eat fish in any form and hence will get fewer calories than usually. Soon Slavia and Lena came to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Huh? Yeah, sure. I stood up and pulled out a chair for her. Please. I was in an excellent mood at that moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena began staring at me and continued for some time, but then after realizing how odd she looked, switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Simeon? Nope. I gave her an honest answer, as indeed I had no plans. Except for searching for answers, but that was more like a global goal. Do you want to take a boat ride to the island with us? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga asked us to gather up some strawberries. There are a lot of strawberries there, and they're so delicious. I could imagine the taste without even eating it, just by looking at Slavia's face. Strawberries. And what are those for? I don't know, but it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I hadn't been to the island yet. Yeah, sure. Within minutes, we were already standing at the pier. Well, here's the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the paddles now. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberries? Well, not really, but they're tasty. Lena smiled. I see. I didn't know what to say next or how to continue the conversation. If Slavia didn't come back, we could probably sit here till the evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Yeah, thanks. We got into the boat and I untied it, pushed off the shore and tried to start paddling. And where exactly are we heading to? Right there. She pointed her finger at the island. The island is named the closest one. I wonder what captain gave it such an original name. Well, the island is indeed close to the shore. Aye, aye, Captain. If only I'd known what was waiting for me ahead. I wasn't an experienced oarsman. I'd rowed a boat just once or twice in my entire life. It was less than half a mile to the island, but we were making our way in zigzags thanks to my skills. By approximately the middle of the trip, my arms hurt so badly that I dropped the paddles to get some rest. Well, aren't there any strawberries anywhere else? I mean, in more accessible places? But the tastiest ones grow there. Slavia gave me a puzzled look. Is it hard for you to row alone? Lena, unlike Slavia, understood everything straight away. Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, I couldn't let a fragile girl help me. The rest of the way, I spent concentrating on staying alive while getting to the island. Slavia and Lena discussed something, but I wasn't listening. That was too much for me. At last, we arrived. Wow, that actually does look really close. Completely exhausted, I got out of the shore and looked at the boathouse. It seemed so far away that I felt like a first person on the moon watching the earth rise. Here you go. Slavia handed me a basket. It was a small island, barely 100 meters long, and it looked like more of a birch grove with even rows of trees covering its entire surface. A calm green sea spread beneath our feet, with wind causing lonely waves on the surface from time to time. The island looked like the lost paradise. It's no wonder that the most delicious strawberries grow just here. We've got to split up. That way we'll do the job faster. Yeah, sure. But there are only 2 baskets, said Lena humbly. Oh, you're right. My bad. So how are we going to split it up then? I want to go with Lena. Yay. Let me go with you. Let's go. Okay, that's fine. Slavia grabbed the second basket and ventured to the opposite side of the island. Well, let's go. Yeah. Lena smiled. Just pay attention. Don't leave a single berry behind. You too. So, it was the harvest time. Indeed, the strawberries here were delicious. I could probably eat them all if I didn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild grown, the berries were close to garden ones in size, had a rich red color, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Lena followed me closely as we had only 1 basket for the both of us. I felt like a real mushroom picker, examining each shrub, carefully pawing the grass. Well, you're much better than me. Am I? Frankly, I'm not even counting them. Yeah, right you are. The basket was already half full. You must enjoy nature, right? I do. The bright sun rays pierced the treetops and blinded me for a second. I sat down on the ground and leaned against a tree. Still, it's so beautiful here. Lena sat down next to me. So close that our elbows touched. Yeah, we just sat and enjoyed the moment. It seemed like time stood still. The wind gently shook the tree leaves, some bugs lazily hopped around the grass, and splashes of sunlight played on the fairway water surface. Lena put her head on my shoulder. I was surprised at first, but then I heard her regular breathing and thought that it's just a matter of course. Probably she felt drowsy and wanted to take a quick nap. I just sat there and didn't think of anything for a few minutes. But then words started crossing my mind with ultrasonic speed. Lena, so close, sleeping, so warm, so gentle. Feelings. Feelings? Alright. I gazed at her. She had such a serene, such a tranquil look on her face that it seemed that right now she's not here, but in some kind of better world. I don't know what would have happened at the next moment if I didn't hear the voice of Slavia. Samian, Lena! I shook my head from side to side a few times to come to my senses. Lena started to wake up. She opened her eyes and gave me an empty look. Have a nice dream? Huh? Suddenly realizing that she had dozed off leaning on my shoulder, Lena blushed. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. Slavia came over to us, so Lena rushed to get up. So how much have you got? I sighed. That's not a lot. Her basket was filled with strawberries to the brim. Well, that's enough anyways. It's time to get back. I grabbed the basket and we headed back to the boat. The way back took less time as I tried to concentrate on rowing and ignoring everything else. My only wish was to get back alive, as the first trip hadn't gone without consequence, and now my hands started to hurt after only a few sweeps of the oars. Having tied up the boat, and I fell to the ground with no energy left. Slavia and Lena leaned over me. You could have said something if it was too hard for you. Why are you angry at me? Yes. Never mind, it's fine. I'll just lie here for a bit and everything will be alright. Okay then, get those baskets to Olga, please. We have something else to do. Yeah, sure. I was ready to agree with anything at that moment just so I wouldn't have to get up. Slavia put the baskets full of strawberries next to me and headed to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest part is done anyway. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After rowing, they felt like cement bags, even while weighing barely more than a few kilograms each. So the trip to the camp leader's cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop every 50 meters to have a rest. Once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat next to the deck chair with difficulty. Olga! Olga, I've got a present for you! There was no answer. I barely managed to get up and I entered the cabin. There was nobody there. If you don't need them, it's up to you. I laid down on the deck chair and fell asleep. Oh no. Whoa. I had a dream about a strawberry race. I was rowing a boat with the last ounces of my strength, trying to escape huge berries that were chasing me. What? My hands were failing me and I could barely see anything because of the sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the strawberries were getting closer. They were baring their teeth at me. But wait, strawberries with teeth? Semyon! Semyon! I woke up. Olga was standing beside me, shaking my shoulder. I see you got the richest harvest, didn't you? Thanks for the girls' help. Okay, that's not all. Seriously? I was just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have. Do you even know what these strawberries are for? Not a clue. What an honest confession. We'll make a cake out of them. I see. I'd be excited. Cake. To honor the miraculous rescue of Shurik, and it's all thanks to you. It was clear that getting the strawberries was the last thing left to do. And why? Please tell me. If I am such a hero, why do I have to organize a celebration in my name all by myself? Well, I guess. So, I have an important task for you. We are missing yeast, flour, and sugar. We need it all in the canteen. We need it all in the canteen before dinner. And those who will make the cake can't deal with it on their own somehow. I asked pitifully. Of course they can't. All of them are busy. And you're the one in the whole camp who does anything. Well, I'm glad I'm being recognized for it. While her words were partly true, that doesn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So write it down. You'll get the yeast in the infirmary, flour in the library, and sugar in the clubhouse. Why is there flour in the library? And yeast in the... Alright. Wait. I have no time. I'm in a hurry. Good luck. She smiled slyly and laughed. Of course, there are a lot of strange things in this camp, but yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can deal with that, but flour in the library? And sugar? No, it's beyond my comprehension. I spat on the floor. I don't want to, and I will not believe this. Tell me. Just tell me you're pulling my leg. I would not be surprised if a crowd of fat green trolls would appear here right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated to laugh at me. So maybe to hell with this cake. I weighed my options for some time. No, if such a major plan of Olga's fell through, I'd be in a world of hurt. And it would complicate both my life in the camp and my search for answers, which I've stopped for quite a while. it seems I have no choice. Let's go to the clubhouse. I felt like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I'd even forgotten to think about how awkward it must be looking for sugar there. Oh wow, they're actually building a robot. Shurik and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. They were so busy they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of robot, or at least the body of it. Moreover, this robot was female and had animal ears. Oh, is this the girl from the exit screen? I hope not, but it's the only thing I can think of with cat ears. I didn't want to make up theories about purpose of such device for luminaries of camp cybernetics. Even though the design looked practically workable, I had my doubts about this robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. But they seemed to be enjoying the process more than the end result. They seem to be enjoying the process more than the end result itself. Okay. Well, it's about the journey, not the destination. And that was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. On the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. They were working towards their goal without paying attention to others who would call it unrealistic or even absurd. Oh, it looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of the sciences. Hey guys, I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, Simeon, come in. We're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. Sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything, but, well, never mind, it's okay. And what brings you to our humble abode? Electronic looked at me slyly. Sometimes I feel that he makes such a face when he knows something about the other person, something he can use in the right moment. What, that winky face? Sugar. I need sugar. An image from an ancient video game suddenly came into my mind, where some kind of unit, like a builder or something, cried out with all of its 5-pixel stature, "Gold! We need more gold!" "We got it," said Electronic calmly. Why would you want it? I felt that I shouldn't explain to Shurik that we want to bake a cake for him. I shouldn't spoil the surprise. I don't know. Olga told me to get some. Okay, hang on. Electronic disappeared behind the door into the next room. And why do you have sugar here? Why not in the canteen? When the food truck came last time, it was the last thing to unload, and given that our building is the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here to save some effort. That's reasonable, isn't it? The door opened, revealing Electronic hauling a huge bag behind him. I really don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that was absolutely too much sugar. Well, thanks, but I don't need it all. But where would we put it? Electronic gave me a surprised look. We don't have a place for it. You asked for sugar, so take it. It seemed that a previous smile of his wasn't there without reason. Maybe you'll help me then? It's not that far to carry. We're busy. He pointed his hand at the robot. I gazed sure. He owed me after all. He hesitated and then looked away in shame. I sighed, took the bag, and headed to the door. Thanks anyway, I said, parting, exerting myself. Okay, I think this is a good place to leave off. We'll start out the next episode heading to the infirmary, and we'll get the rest of the stuff. I really hope you guys are enjoying. I really like recording this. I like Lena. So we'll see if we can... I'm still kind of confused as to how this is going to end. I don't know if we're going to get to go home or not, but I really hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, butternuts